Greetings, Pastor Isaac. I listen to you practically every day on oneplace.com. Can you please explain Exodus 4, verses 24 through 26? I've never truly understood this passage. It's difficult to discern who the Lord is referring to. Who is the Lord seeking to put to death? Is it Moses, or is it his son? And why? This is how the passage reads. Now it came about at the lodging place on the way, that the Lord met him, and sought to put him to death. Then Zipporah took a flint, and cut off her son's foreskin, and threw it at Moses' feet, and she said, You are indeed a bridegroom of blood to me. Thank you for the answer.
Thank you for this question. It is indeed not an easy passage. These verses are considered as ones of the most difficult in the book of Exodus. First, we are to determine who is the him in verse 24 that the Lord sought to kill and why. Most modern commentators say that the him is Moses, as the NIV or the New American Standard Bible 2020, and other translations, they go as far as inserting the name of Moses in the text, but the name of Moses does not at all appear in the account that is in the original text. This is when translations fail to stay fair to the original text. So why is the him, who is the him that is in this verse? Surely not Moses, for God would not seek to kill Moses at this point in time as he was about to lead the Israelites to the promised land. Rabbinical commentaries rightly understood that it was one of Moses' sons. Probably Eliezer, for he had probably just been born. It could also be Moses' firstborn, Gershom, but Gershom was already born a while back. That is, we see his name mentioned in Exodus chapter 2. But it seems that it is one of Moses' sons who is the subject of the circumcision. But now, what exactly was the problem, and why did God had to intervene in such a strong manner? On the surface, we can see that there is a breach of the commandment of the circumcision, which was ordered actually under two covenants, the Abrahamic covenant in Genesis 17 and the Mosaic covenant in Leviticus 12, and does not actually, refusing to circumcise does not reflect well coming from a lawgiver, Moses himself, not wanting to circumcise his son. But there seems to be a much deeper reason than just the circumcision, especially when we consider that the rite of circumcision itself was not enforced during the 40-year journey in the wilderness, as we read in Joshua chapter 5. So the problem seems to be beyond circumcision. What then could it be? The core of the problem seems to be with Zipporah, Moses' wife, in relation with Israel and in relation with the God of Israel. We know that she is a Midianite and the daughter of a priest of a foreign religion. And the reason she resisted the circumcision is because these Midianites despised circumcision of infants, while apparently perform it on adults. So she refused to have her son circumcised, even though it was a commandment. So her attitude reveals to us a resistance not only to the circumcision, but to the whole law of God. What we learn is that she obviously did not adopt the religion of Israel. And there she was within the camp of Israel and being the wife of the lawgiver Moses and holding on against the law of God. She had entered Israel with defiance and with apparently her own gods. This is when God intervenes. This is a problem we often see surfacing in the history of Israel when foreigners and Israelites as well did not comply with the law of God and defied them. One such problem the leadership in Israel had to deal with was when the Israelites married foreign women who came into the fold with their gods. They demanded actually that these women leave the nation of Israel, as we read it in Nehemiah chapter 13. When they heard that the law of the Lord, we read they excluded all the foreigners from Israel, for they had come actually with their gods, and they were disturbing the growth of the people of Israel. And so they did and so it seemed that Zipporah left also as well after this incident, for we don't hear much about her during the 40 years in the wilderness. So the him in this verse was Moses' son, and behind God's reaction is the rebellious Zipporah who dared to go against the law of God. This is the Zipporah's syndrome, which Paul actually formulated so well in 2 Corinthians 6:14 when he said, "Do not be unequally yoked together with unbelievers, for what fellowship has righteousness with lawlessness? And what communion has light with darkness?" This then seems to have been at the core of the problem.